First of all, meditation is just to fatigue your body and mind so that you get fed up and find there may be something else. There may be something else, so he will be in search of a teacher. Then he will not tell him to meditate. He will tell him some unique method. He will tell him, keep quiet. He will not tell him to do anything. Doing and not doing is not the work of a teacher. It is for the preachers. You have to do this and you have not to do this thing. Teacher has no teaching, no do's and no don'ts. He tells you, keep quiet. There can be nothing else that the teacher can say. And this is going to work. And this could be the best teaching that the teacher could give. If you listen to him, as I was telling, if he says, keep quiet, not only you hear, but you become quietness, you see. What is the trouble, you see? And you see in satsang also, listening also, when I tell them, inquire, investigate, who am I? And they say, we can't do it. We can't do it. You see, we have been doing and we are in trouble, in tension, headaches. So they are otherwise engaged. So therefore, some rare one gets at it. And I do not know why. I cannot give you anything on my own, why it is not working. Why it's not working, you see. And if you keep quiet, you will fall in love with it, you see. After all, everybody needs happiness and peace, whatever they are doing. And there can be no happiness, no peace, no love, no beauty anywhere else, in any other object except this, here and now. Therefore, you don't need any meditation. Because meditation, you need mind to meditate. You need mind to meditate. Therefore, the result of any process has to be mental. Then you need body, such and such posture, hand to be planted this way, mudra to be kept this way. So it is going to be physical. So any physical activity gives you physical result, mental result. Any good idea that attracts you, sounds good, you follow it, that could be mental or intellectual ideas. Then the result will be intellectual. Don't shun all these ideas, you see. Physical, mental, also spiritual, you see. So if you get rid of all notions, what you have heard, and ideas, then you are emptiness itself. To give up the intention to keep quiet. If they can't keep quiet, give up the intention to keep quiet, then what will happen? When you inquire, who am I? So it strikes at the root of the mind. There's no mind at all with this inquiry. I is the mind, you know. And now you are questioning. I is questioning to I itself. No one has ever questioned. Who am I? No one. Who are you? Who is he? Who is she? Who am I? No one ever has questioned. Therefore, it's the first time one can ask. So it's striking at the root of all creation, you see. Not person, striking the root of the creation. Then there will be no creation at all, and no creator also, and no beings also. It strikes to that depth, you see. Because the mind itself is a dust. So you cannot clean the dust with the dust. So if you have a mirror, it's dusty mirror, and you want to clean it, you bring some kind of dust and put another layer of dust. This is cleaning the mind, another dust. So anything doing, any other method, you want to clean the mind with some yoga, or with some bhoga, or with some meditation, or whatever it is. So it is putting another dust on the mind. So what I say is keep quiet means is removing the mirror itself so that no dust can alight anywhere. So this is holiness, I mentioned. So that the truth exalts the holiness, and now you are holy. Remove the mirror. And if you are a mirror, your face will be reflected. So this is a spot. With this spot, you are not holy. It's a reflection. How to remove the reflection? If you throw away the mirror, this reflection will return back to your original face. So if you throw away the mind for 1 second, this thought of holiness will reveal itself, merge back into the holiness. Therefore, truth exalts a holy person. Therefore, you have to be holy. How to be holy? Remove the mirror, remove all reflection which you are seeing in the objects, which is the dust. Any belief is wrong. Why should you believe? Do you need any belief that you are David Godman? You are very sure about it. No? Why to ask? To be your own self is the only happiness, you see. All other happiness is to fatigue yourself and find out this is not the happiness. Because after that they will, if you again repeat that same process, it means that thing, that place has not given you happiness, therefore it wants to be repeated. Happiness is one. Happiness is one, but when you attribute it something which is not abiding, then it is different. Your happiness, when you say my happiness and your happiness, then it is not that happiness which I point at. I point at just happiness, not my happiness and not your happiness. And the difference only is that you are using my and you. If you remove you and me, then no difference. Ecstasy is a state of mind. For some time it will stay, sometime it will stay, and then it will again dwindle and return back. Ecstasy, you see. Many people have get into ecstatic states listening a poem, a poetry, some singing song, or some with other things, you see, get into ecstasy and it goes away. This depends upon the circumstances, but bliss, when you have bliss, is not that also, not even bliss. Not even bliss, but bliss can be attributed to dawn before the sunrise. There's a dawn and you know very well now sun will arise. Sun is not there, but something shows now is dawn, you say. So when you feel some bliss and you are not attributing to something else, so you are now focused, seeing the dawn. Now it is the east side, sun will rise. So your focus is entirely on the east, on one particular point where you see the dawn, because dawn is not in the west, you see. And if you can reject and don't get attached to this thing, one by one, remove the physical body, remove the mental body, remove the prana body, and remove the intellectual also when your intellect is working, and stop the intellectual, then bliss will come. Bliss will come when the intellect is not working. So even bliss has come, don't get attached. The most yogis get attached with this thing. This is from the yoga method, you see. Yoga method, they describe koshas, you see. And then you get attached to this kosha and don't get attached permanently, don't give up. Stay quiet, you see. And then it will become that, and mind is now absorbing the bliss. Absorbing the bliss, and mind is now becoming bliss. And now, sometime, it's not for the bliss to be rejected. Now, from the other side, beyond mind, no mind, freedom itself is coming to receive you, embrace you. So then only no one can reject the bliss, you see. So you have done very well if you feel bliss, bliss of Atman, Atmananda it's called. Then it will take the form of Atman itself, then everything is gone, and that, even that is not final, somehow. Somehow that also, mind, no mind is now still alive. Even no mind is still alive, it is related to mind still, you see. So fathomlessness is this. Then your work begins here, which is going to be very beautiful work, which now before you have done well, and your task is over. Now this is the task of beyond. And now beyond is now taking hold of you and revealing itself more and more every moment, different beauty, different love, different form even, you see. Different form even, so that you are always engaged with it and it is always engaged with it. So that cannot be get rid of even if the body leaves, you see. So that can be described as the ultimateness. Silent mind is the to temporary keep quiet, temporary suppression of the objects in the mind, you keep quiet many times. Somebody wants something from you and you tell him, I don't have, or you are not willing to give, silent for some time. And still mind is also temporary. Stillness of mind is also temporary. For some meditation, concentration will result in still mind when for a long time, when your mind is still like a flame of the candle, when again the breeze will come, the candle will again flicker out, any other thought will come again, the stillness will be washed away with the wind of a thought. Now no mind, I am hearing this question for the first time. It has never been asked to me by any person from India or from the West. It has never been asked. I am very happy for the first time to deal with this question. So, no mind, you want to say? First of all, to speak about no mind, we have to see what is mind. So, mind is something, we start from consciousness, okay? When the consciousness wants to know itself, consciousness wants to know itself, about itself. Who am I? As you are there, yet you need a mirror sometimes to appreciate your makeup. You want to see yourself. Then the mirror will reflect. So from there arises when the consciousness, in the consciousness there is a wave to know, asking, consciousness asking itself to know about consciousness itself. This wave is now rising. Wave in the ocean is now rising. So that wave now becomes I. Separates. Same consciousness, it is now separated from the consciousness called I. So when now mind is left alone, I is all this thing, what has happened. What you see is I only. I must be there when you see a tree, when you see a mountain, a river, men, animals, this is I only. You need I. So this I is now rejected everything. I alone is there. It cannot go back, return. It has decided this is the desire for freedom. It wants to return its original place. So desire to go back is no more there. So this I which arises from the consciousness is now returning to consciousness, and this decision is become no mind now. I is gone. I is gone, and this I was mind. So this I is now rejected. That in between I and consciousness, this in between is called no mind. In between is called no mind, and that's when in between will merge into consciousness itself, then in between will become consciousness itself. As we have this cup, and inside ether, emptiness, space inside, outside also space. And we call it inner space, and this is outer space. Why? Because this form, it's called cup, name, form, length, breadth, diameter. So when this name and form is removed, this ether and this Mahat means greater ether become one. They were always one, and why we called inside and outside, why we called freedom. So from this point of view, I call the inner space is now separate than the outer space. Why? Because name and form. And this name and form is I. When this I goes, this wall is removed, this becomes this. Still, remembrance will be there. Remembrance of no mind is there because you are coming from mind. So now I have no mind. So gradually, slowly, for a long time, how it happens, I do not know. This no mind merges back into beyond. So now you have no mind to work on your own account. You are simply being graced and picked up and obey what it is doing, and you are not doing anything. Doership is gone, mind is no more there, and all these other functions of the mind are no more there. So you stay this time for the stipulated period as has been charted earlier. This life will stay for the rest of the time. And some people cannot stand the shock of freedom more than 21 days. That is stated in the books. More than 21 days they can't stand this happiness. If some middle class man gets a derby lottery for $1 billion, he doesn't know what to do. Some people get heart attack, you see. So much happiness, you see. So this happiness takes away the body itself. But he is liberated, doesn't matter now or tomorrow. Body is not in question. But some people can live only to benefit other people. So this benefit is not coming from some person. Going back to your previous question, it is coming direct from consciousness, and that person, that teacher knows that it is not me. I am simply picked up to speak, and it is not me who is speaking. And if it knows that someone is speaking on him, it is arrogance, egoistic, it will not work, you see. So if you have that experience, it's not your problem what you're speaking and who's benefited and who's not benefited, who comes to you or who doesn't come to you. It remains the same.